Well, hello, my friends. We're back together again, and I'm super excited because today we are making this really fun, super colorful emoji bracelet stack. Aren't these so fun? And these are using clay beads. So they're just so fun. And, I've been wearing them around and I've been getting lots and lots of compliments on them. I'm a school teacher during the day. So, of course, my students love them, but also teachers. And it goes with lots of fun, bright outfits. So I'm actually loving them. I've worn them lots of times. So I think you're going to love them as much as I have. And I'm really excited to get started. So, would you do me a favor? Would you let me know where you are tuning in from and how old you are? If you'd like us to shout out your name, we love to give shout outs. So please do that so Chanel can give the shout outs. And if you have any questions, like Chanel said, let me know. And let's go ahead to the supply list. So let me switch my camera around. There we are. Okay, so these are the supplies that we're going to be needing today. We would like to see your finished project. So please find us at Learn with Michaels. And this is me on Instagram at La Cozy Casita. So if your adult can find us, we would love to see your finished project. It's so, so fun to see those. So please do that. All right, and let me set this here so you can still see it while we go over the list of supplies. All right, so you see a tape measure here. We're going to need either a tape measure or a ruler. This was not in the supply list. If you don't have it, I'm going to show you a hack to use, okay? But this will be a little bit important for figuring out what size we should make for your bracelets. I'm going to take these off just for a little bit so you can see that we're making the 3 bracelets, and then I'll wear them the rest of class. We, of course, are going to need our beads. So I have 2 packets here. So you can see I have so many left, and I have already made these 3 bracelets. So you get a lot in the pack. So I have these round beads. I just love how bright and colorful they are. They're kind of neon-y, but then there's these fun purples and pinks. Those are super fun. And then these clay beads, I'm going to show you. There's different sizes here, which are super fun. So you'll have the bigger clay beads and then the smaller ones. So those are all really fun. If you don't have this exact set, just use what you've got or just watch along with us and still have fun. We love it. So we've got those 2 bags. And you are going to need something to string your beads on. I like using the elastic beads or the elastic cording, but if you're worried about them stretching a little bit, which I've worn these 3 or 4 times and they are great. I love to stretch them over my fist here. So I recommend the elastic, but if you don't have elastic, you could totally use their stretch cord, or if you really see this one really stretches, and so that's great too. It's by Creatology as well. If you don't have either of those and just have a string, just make sure that you make it big enough to fit over your fist so it will fit. Or you could add a clasp onto them if you know how to add clasps. Okay, so that is, oh, of course, we need scissors to cut off our elastic. And you are going to, I'm covering up all that information that I just said I'd lay out for you. You are going to need just a dab of glue. This is just regular school glue. And I like to put a dab on the end of on my knots just to keep them intact a little bit. So totally optional. You don't have to have this, but I do like it for a little extra security. All right. So hopefully, oh, and then I just picked this up at Michael's. This is not in the supply list, but will be my first time using the little bead measuring tray, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I love this because what you can do is lay out your design without your beads rolling away. So I thought I'd give that a shot tonight. And then you can kind of put the beads in here, which I think are it's super handy. Okay, you guys ready? All right, let me put my bracelets back on. Aren't they just so fun?
And Elizabeth, we have one person who already commented in the Q&A. We have Camille and Clara from Carmel, Indiana with us tonight.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for writing in the Q&A. I love that. Chanel and I cannot see you. So I just love that you have commented because now I know who's joining us. And did they say how old they were?
They haven't yet.
Okay. Really helps me a lot too, guys. If you let me know how old you're working with a bunch of 4-year-olds or 13-year-olds. There's a big difference between the two. So that really helps me as well. If you get a chance to comment, I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
They are 6 and 10.
All right. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. So glad. I'm going to pour out some of my beads while we're waiting on you to get your supplies and comment.
While you're doing that, we had a couple more comments come in. We have Dylan from Texas, age 8, Victoria 6, and Catalina 3 from Yonkers, New York, and Sandra from California.
Welcome. I think Dylan has joined us a few times. That name sounds familiar. Welcome back. If you've joined us before, let us know. I love return customers. Oh, hey guys, you can have your adult grab a pin or a toothpick or something of the sort because every once in a while, these will, oh, look at that. I grabbed the right one. These will have a kind of like a clog in them. I know it's a little, see that? And so if you use a push pin or a tool like a toothpick, that will help push that through. Or you can always just grab another one, but this is the tool I use and it just easily pops right on out. See that? So that's a handy tool. Maybe if you're using if you're making several bracelets and you won't I know it's blurry, guys. It'll come back here in a second. Sometimes I just have to say, follow me, and then it'll come. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and please, anytime, Chanel, feel free to give those shout outs. You are not bothering me one bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure out our wrists. So Chanel has added a chart to I think in the Q&A. And so you can check that if you are a chart kind of person and you like to see, hey, this is what I should measure my wrist at, or if you want it to be really customized, then all you have to do is either take a measuring tape. You're going to measure your wrist around, and I like to keep it a little loose. Don't grab too tight. And so mine on the loose end. And then just decide, like, are you going to want to put your bracelet where your wrist bone is, or do you want it up a little more? So, because of course, if you're putting it up above your bone, your wrist is going to be smaller. So I'm just over 6 inches, but I'm not going to cut my string at 6 inches. I need room to make my knots. I need room to work with. So what I recommend is that you double it. So go around 2 times. That'll give me 12 and a half or 12. always say go bigger, more than not enough. Okay. I told you I had a hack for you. So if you do not have a measuring tool, just take your string, and you can have your adult do this for you if this can be tricky to do one-handed. So have your adult help you. Go around, meet your strings together here, and then measure this piece. So I've got my ruler here. I actually have one here on my table, and that gave me around 6 to 7 inches. Also, I'm going to double that. I just want to have enough space, guys. More space is better. So that is going to be close to 14 to 15. That. All right. Is the start of my bracelet making. Is just figure how long to make your bracelet. Okay. Another thing that you could do two things. You could put a knot, tie a knot at the end of just a loose knot at the end of your string, just so your beads aren't going to fly around. Or what I really like to do is just put a piece of tape down. So if you have a piece of tape handy, you could grab a piece of tape and do that. Or, like I said, you could make your knots. Okay, so if you are my friends who, are 4, 5, 6, definitely do the knots. You'll be very thankful you did, because our friends, they like to string and they like to walk around or turn, and whatever they're holding, they turn and off come the beads. But hey, guys, if your beads fall off, Hakuna Matata, just restring them, right? No worries, just restring. That's the fun of this. You can just keep on stringing. Okay, here's the other deal. If you want to work in batches, you might as well go ahead and cut your other strings. I'm going to go for it. Look, it looks like I'm showing favoritism to the blue. So maybe I'm going to go light blue, because I haven't used the light blue yet. So I'm going to go light blue. Let's go ahead and just cut our 3 pieces. That way that's done. And if you're an adult helping kids and one has finished and one has not, at least you've already measured the next strings and they're good to go, right? Okay, there's the next one. And let's do 3. Go ahead,
Sorry,
Jeanette.
while you're cutting your other strings, we had a couple more comments come through.
Okay.
We have Audrey, who is 9, Merritt 5, and their adults Bonnie and Teresa from South Dakota. And then we have
when adults join us too.
we have Isabel and Ben from McCordsville, Indiana.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm hearing some familiar names. So I am so glad to have repeat students. That's always so, so fun. We're becoming friends and I love it. All right, I'm going to set my string aside, guys. Okay, are you ready? So let's just start easy peasy. Why don't we? Why don't we just start with the clay beads here, just the plain clay beads. What I like about these clay beads that I made, there's absolutely no rhyme or reason. I do not have a pattern. I just put whichever beads I grabbed. I was not looking, I was just stringing. So that's what I'm going to start to do. Now, if you want to make a pattern, go for it. If you want to say, okay, I want purple, blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow, then you should do purple, blue, yellow. If you want to go through all of the colors and make it that way, you totally can. What's cool about this tray is you can just kind of line them all out if you want and just kind of see if you're going to have any repeat ones. For my 4-year-old, you might just want to have them lined up, and then you just go ahead and string. You're going to put that little hole, that string right through that hole and bring it all the way down to the end and just string away. So what we want to keep in mind is if your wrist measured 7 inches, then your beads, you're going to have your beads measure 7 inches. And remember, we have extra string, and that extra string is what we're going to use to tie. Let me grab a yellow. So I can already see on mine that I'm pretty heavy on the blues. So what I want to do is I'm going to start adding some of those pinks. I really like the bright, fun pink colors. I just gravitate to those colors. I love them. So I'm going to add a couple more pinks because I personally want my bracelet to be really bright. So I'm going to add the pinks and the yellows and less blues and purples. But hey, if you like the blues, add the blues because this is your bracelet. So you can make this however you want because you're the one wearing it. If you're making this for a friend, maybe you want to know what their favorite color is, and you could add more of that color. That would be really fun for them. All right, so let's see. Let's see how far I've gotten so far. Here's my ruler, and I'm at about, you can see how quickly you can just string those beads. I'm about 5.5 inches, so I'm going to keep going a little bit more. Let's add an orange. I haven't added an orange for a while. Now, let me show you if the end of your string begins to fray. Do you see how mine is fraying? Fray just means the string is starting to come off, like the little fabric is starting to fan out. Do you see that? It looks like a paintbrush kind of. If that happens to you, all you have to do is grab your scissors and just cut it off. And now you have a nice end piece. So look, I want to show you, this is all I cut off, that tippy top. I wouldn't want to cut it off close to my beads or up here because now I won't have maybe as much space to tie my knot at the end. So I just, as closely as I could get to that frayed end, that's where I cut. And if you're a kiddo and you're using the kid scissors, it's better to cut way in here by the open mouth than at the end because the open mouth part of the scissors are the sharpest part of the scissors. Okay, that'll give you a nice end. Okay, let's see here. I just love these so much. I'm going to give these to my daughter because she liked my bracelet. And we do share things, but I want to make it for her. So are you making your bracelet for you? Are you making it for yourself or are you making it for a friend? Let us know in the comments. Okay, that's plenty long for me. It might even be a little too long. Let me check. Oh yeah, I was chit-chatting and I was just beading because before you know it, you're done. So I got 6.5 inches and my wrist was close to 6.25. I'm just going to take away one bead, just one, and I'm good with that. And you can double check by just gently, if you've taped yours down, have your adult help you. If you need an extra hand, just kind of look. Let's see, does it meet? You know what? I'm going to go back. Guys, I'm having second thoughts. I'm going to add it back. That's the joy and the beauty of this. You can always add. Okay, we are ready. So we're going to gently lift the one end. And now I'm putting my beads in the middle. So it's even. You see that? Ish. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I've got them more in the middle of my string. And the way I did that, if you're new to beading, I'm just bringing the two ends together and the beads just kind of fall on their own in the middle. See, it's a little off. No big deal, guys. No big deal. Because guess what? You gave yourself plenty of space, plenty of space to tie your knots. Okay. Now, if it's like this, or if your beads came all the way to the end here and you have a really long space on the other side, you might want to, even it out a little bit, but just so you have enough room on each side. Okay, let's make a knot, shall we? Let me set this aside just so you can see a little better. Okay, now again, if your beads fall apart, no worries, just restring. You saw how quickly we were able to string those. Okay, for my friends that do not have an adult helper near them, I'm going to break this down for you, and you can totally do this. If you can tie your shoes, you can do this. If you can't tie your shoes yet, this is the time to ask an adult for some help. Okay? So, cross, you're going to make an X. Now, the string on top, you're going to tuck under. This is just like tying your shoes. Do you see that twist? Now I'm going to pull both ends, pull, 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 until not super, super tight. Okay, I'm not pulling. This is elastic, so I'm not stretching my elastic. I'm just gently pulling the ends together. Not tight, just bringing them very gently together. Got it? So we've got our little X. Now we're going to make another X. Now this time, instead of tucking under one time, we're going to tuck under 2 times. So I'm going 1 and I'm going 2. This is called a surgeon's knot. And then I'm tightening up. I'm not going to tighten all the way because I want to show you that again, just in case you didn't get it. Okay. So you got the first part. Let me show you again. Crisscross. Now, here's another good little tip here. Make sure your beads are all close. If your beads are like this, when you tie your knot, your bracelet's going to be bigger than you want it. So make sure your beads are all kind of touching here. You don't have a lot of space. Crisscross. Tuck under. Just one tuck, just like you do with your shoes. Gather your beads together. You could see I didn't pull tight, just enough. Now, crisscross one more time. Now, this is the one where we're going to tuck twice, tuck under twice. So I've got my X. I'm going to go slow so you can see. Tuck into that hole that we just made. That's once. And I'm going to tuck one more time into this hole that we just made. One more time. There we go. Now I'm going to pull. So I pulled gently. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here closely. Now I've got my thumb and my fingers very close to my knots. And let me zoom in here for you. Got them very close. So now what I'm going, this is my chance now that I'm going to pull. Not so tight that I'm going to snap my beads, but enough that I'm tightening up these strings right here. So I gave the 2 loose ends a pull, and I'm giving the ends that are going into the beads a pull. 2 pulls. There we have it. Isn't that cute? Ooh, I love it. I just love these colors and how they're matted down. Okay, now I'm going to bring over my mat here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my glue, and I'm going to set them aside, and then we're going to go on to the second bracelet. Okay, I've got my glue. Notice I haven't snipped anything yet. So let's get the glue going. There it is. Okay. Just put a little dollop of glue right here. And I'm just going to let this dry. So I'm going to set it aside. Not putting the glue anywhere else, just over the knot. If you wanted to, you could turn it around and give another dab on the other side. Just a dab. That'll do ya. Little dab will do ya. That's what I like to say. A little dab will do ya. There we go. Okay, I'm going to let it go. Let me put the lid on my glue. I'm not snipping or anything. I'm going to let this set aside, and this is going to dry clear. So let's set this aside. You guys ready for numero dos? Are you ready for number 2? Okay. Now remember, you can either use your tape, you could tie a knot. You know, my daughter, she gave a good idea. What she did is she beaded, and then she just kind of tied a knot. So my 4-year-old, this might be a great hack for my 4-year-old. So have your adult put a bead at the end and give a little end here, a little knot. So then that way it won't fall apart. You might even want to do one more. The only thing with this is then you'll have to work it back out. So it's up to you what you decide. I like the tape method. That's my favorite method. Okay, so we're taping down. And now let's go ahead and do the emoji one. Full emoji. You can do whichever one you like. So on the full emoji one, I do kind of like to see. So that's kind of what prompted me to get this little tray. If you don't have the tray, just use a paper plate. Just use what you've got in front of you. So see here, I've got 2 heart eyes. So I'm just going to change it up. I'm going to put a star right here. That's the joy of being able to kind of lay out your design. Then you can see and change it up. So I like this big heart. I'm going to put that big heart right there. How about another little star? And you can kind of get the idea. So this one starts at 0. So I know I want to go to about at least 6, if not 6.5 inches. And I don't have them super close either. So I'm just kind of guessing. But these won't roll away. So that's kind of why we're laying them out. You don't have to lay yours out at all. If you just want to start stringing, go for it. You can do that. That's totally fine. Go for it. And I like to just change up the color. Oh, look at this little guy. He's so cute. Just one little tiny little star. I like him. Okay. It looks like I don't have, I do like these big ones, you guys. Let me see. Oh, let me see if I have more big ones in my bag. Oh, I do. Okay. So that means I can use a few more of these here. Let's see here. A little purple. I think we're about good. I do like this little flower. Let me add this flower one. Maybe I can put flower right here because these two are kind of alike. So I'm going to change up. I'm going to put the flower one right here. Maybe add that one. There. Okay. Once you get it laid out how you like, if that's the route that you chose, go ahead and start stringing. If you just wanted to string them on and not even worry about what's touching what, which is probably what I did on this first one, you can totally do that too. Yeah, because look, I've got 2 hard eyes right here and it didn't bother me then. So why is it bothering me now? It's not even bothering me actually. I was just wanting to show you, you know, how you could design your bracelet if you wanted to. Somebody who might be making this as a friendship bracelet and you wanted them to be the exact same, maybe you do one pattern on this side and you do the exact same pattern on this side. And then you and your bestie can have the same bracelet. All right. Ooh, we got a clogger. Okay, let me grab my little tool here and get this. Here it is. I set it up here. You know what this is? This is a cake decorating tool, but you can use your toothpick. There we go. Just, there we go. You could use a skewer, a push pin. If you have letter tiles, you could totally put your name on here. That would be adorable. So you decide. I love this heart one. This one reminds me of I Heart New York. So cute. I love these clay beads. Oh, let's unclog this guy. So you can see how you could just make so many of these, right? They're just so easy to make, super fun, very bright and colorful. So today was a really nice day. I live in North Carolina, and today was a really nice day. I was in an in-service all day, but we have windows, which is really nice. We could see the sun coming through, and then I chit-chatted with my neighbor, and then we thought she was going on a walk, and I thought I might as well join you. We're just talking in my driveway. I might as well just keep on walking with you. So we did a couple of laps, and we realized it was getting warmer, and it's so nice that spring is right around the corner. What is your favorite season? Is it summer, winter, spring, or fall? Let us know in the Q&A. If you're winter, it's almost over. My husband's is spring. My son's favorite season is summer. I'm definitely fall. I love fall. I love s'mores. I love hot cider. I love fires, like little bonfires. I just love fall. What is your favorite season? Let us know.
Victoria says summer. Catalina says fall.
Ooh.
Isabel says summer. And Audrey says summer as well.
Okay, girls, I need to know, is summer your favorite because you are home from school? Because I'm pretty sure mine was summer when I was a kid too. So you have to let us know. Is that the reason why you like summer, or do you like summer because of swimming and vacations and playing with your friends, or just all of it? Chanel, you'll have to let us know what your favorite season is.
Mine is spring, but it's mostly because my birthday is in the spring.
Oh, when is your birthday? What birthday coming up?
April 10th.
April 10th. That's exciting. That's close to my daughter's birthday. April 6th.
At Ziri says winter. And
Ooh.
then,
Er,
hold on.
You don't hear winter
Audrey
very
says yes and no on if the reason why she likes summer is because of school. So it's a little of this and that, it sounds like.
little of this and that. I love it.
We have Caitlin from Hackensack, New Jersey joined us.
Welcome, Caitlin.
Victoria says because her birthday is in the summer and she's
Oh,
homeschooled. See, Victoria and I think alike. It's all about our
yes.
birthdays.
I get that, Victoria.
Isabel says yes for being being home from school. Lindsay also says summer, and Caitlin loves summer because we get to go to the beach. I agree with that as well.
Fun. Summertime. I love that. Okay, let's see. Okay, do you guys remember the little hack for checking to see if your bracelet's long enough? Just kind of wrap it around. Gently wrap it around. Make sure it's not falling. Whoops, let me get back in the frame there. There we go. Wrap it just gently. Just give yourself a little peek. Okay, that looks like I need just one more, I think. So I'm going to add one more, and then I think we're ready to tie this off. Are you guys on your second bracelet now? Let me know. Am I going too fast, or is this just right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Since you have seen me tie this off, you may not need to hear the direction again, but I love to give the direction just if you missed it, or maybe you're working on your first bracelet and now you're ready to string. Okay, so for whatever reason, well, I shouldn't say for whatever reason, these aren't falling to the middle as easily as the round beads are. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of pushing them to the middle, to the center. We pull up. So there's enough. And let's, oh, I forgot I was leaving. I grabbed my bracelet to put in the frame, but I forgot we were letting that dry, weren't we, from the glue? Okay. And, oh, like I said, I was measuring this. My daughter definitely has smaller wrists than I do. And I know you saw me add those last two, but what I'm going to do is take those away because she has smaller wrists. So I don't want it to be too big on her. Okay, so remember we go crisscross, tuck under, pull gently together. Gently. We're not doing our real aggressive pull right now. Crisscross again. Now this is the time that you go under 2 times. So I'm going to go through the hole and through the hole one more time. And then pull gently. Now I'm going to get closer. And the reason I do this is because if I'm pulling out here, it's really just stretching the elastic instead of making the knot tighter. So I'm pulling and you can really see how that knot gets a lot tighter. Let it focus. Pull. And they really came together. And now I've got to pull the other side of the knot. So I'm just kind of, I am stretching just a touch and I'm pulling these 2 strings here. Oh yeah, you could definitely see how that moved. Okay, there we have it. We have our full emoji bracelet. And I'm going to glue this one. So let's grab my mat. Seen better days, but it does its job. This is exactly what I use it for putting glue or using permanent marker. All right, now we're going to add our little dab of glue. Added it to that side, just a little tiny dab. And I'm going to add to this side. Here we have it. And you can just use the tip of your glue to work that in. Now you can see I just got the tiniest bit on my bead, on my big bead. So I'm just going to use my finger and wipe it off a little. There we go. Okay. And remember, this dries clear. Okay, are you ready for the third bead? I'm going to grab a baby wipe. I always keep baby wipes handy here. I just have a little glue on my fingers, so I want to make sure. There we go. Okay. Here we go. You ready? Let's do it. Tape the end. Now this time we are making this emoji bracelet. So it's got clay beads and an emoji, 2 clay beads emoji, 2 clay beads emoji, 2 clay beads emoji. Do you see my pattern? Like 2 of the balls. What are we calling these? Round beads. 2 round beads, emoji. 2 round beads, emoji. 2 more round beads, emoji. Do you see the pattern? But I didn't make any sort of pattern with the colors at all. And I like the way it turned out. If you want to make yours into a pattern, go for it. I'm just going to go 2 beads, emoji, 2 beads, emoji, 2 beads, emoji. So 2 beads. Let's start at the 0. And then I'm going to go for the emoji. And then 2 beads. I will get 2 different color beads. So there's 1. And let me go for blue. And how about a star? And then 2 round beads again. Pink is my favorite. But I really do love this blue too. I do love them all, really. All right, let's do the happy face guy. I like him. And how about another pink and a yellow? And you guys do whatever you want. I'm gonna make a big one here. Let's put the little one giving a little kissy face. That's cute. And a purple. And a blue. And I checked in here. I'm gonna do another big one. And I had a big one in here. Let me pull him out because those are my favorite. Here he is. Oh, that's cute. The little winky face. So maybe I'll put the winky face right here. There we go. Put this guy up here. So just so they're kind of spaced out. So the reason I did that is because if I have a big one on this side of my wrist, then I'll have a big one on this side of my wrist. See, I spaced them out so I can kind of always see one of the big ones. That's the only reason I did that. You can do it however you want. Let's do an orange. I'm not crazy about that combo right next to me personally, so I'm going to change it up. There we go. And we haven't done a star, so I'll do star. We haven't done a star in a while, I should say. Okay. There we have it. Okay, I'm ready to string. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go for it. So let me start stringing. So you guys surely are getting the hang of this now, I think. Now, if you like this class, I did a mermaid stack bracelet that was really fun. It was actually my very first Michael's class. If you go to YouTube and search Michael's, I think it's Michael's Stores. Chanel could check on that. Is it Michael? I can't remember what the handle is exactly for YouTube, but all of the classes are there. And then you would go to the videos and then you'd see the kid classes, and the mermaid stack one was pretty popular. A lot of people like that class. So you might too, if you like this emoji class. That's one similar. And then I have a class coming up next Tuesday, and we are painting. So if you like to paint, it's a super fun class. We are making gnome gardens and fairy gardens, little homes for your fairy garden, I should say. So that will be a fun one. We're just using terracotta pots. So the terracotta pots, you've seen them. I'm going to show you right now. This is what the terracotta pot is. This is a little tiny one, and I'm making, I think we're going to make 2 to 3. So this is the little fairy garden home, or the little gnome home, where we painted a little door and some cute little flowers, and use the metallic acrylic paint from Creatology, which is my new favorite. I love it. So we would love to have you join next Tuesday if you like painting. But if you've never painted before, come join us anyway, because it's fun to learn new skills. That's what's coming up next. Oh, let me put him this way. This one's fraying a little more than my other ones have been. So I've snipped the end. It's easier to bead on these round beads than the emoji ones. The emoji, the little hole for the emoji is smaller. There we go. We are doing great. Are you guys rocking and rolling too? How are your bracelets turning out? And are you planning on wearing these tomorrow to school? Or tomorrow for my homeschool friends, you could still wear them at homeschool. All right, I'm ready. Are you guys ready? This one might be a little longer. It is. So let's pull these last two beads off. Okay, we're ready to string. We're ready to knot it. Okay. So remember, I gathered them in the middle. Crisscross applesauce. One. And then we're going to do it again. X. Go through 2 times. 1, 2. Pull nice and tight. And come here. And then spread the beads just a little and pull them tight again. There we go. Wow, guys, we were really rocking and rolling in this class. Cute. I am in love with these colors. I love them so much. Okay, so now what we're going to do is bring back my little mat. Got my tape stuck to my finger. There we go. Okay, and now a little dab here on this guy. And I would just be careful about wearing these right away if you've used the glue. And then, of course, be careful not to stretch them too tight. If you don't want to wear these as a bracelet, you could keep it long and add a little clip to the end and string it to your backpack. That would be super fun. Okay, so once you've got your glue and it's dry, all you have to do is come in here and snip off the ends. Now, the reason we use the glue is A, it will keep them together, but also it helps to keep from fraying. It helps to keep from the string from coming apart. So it just gives a little extra insurance. I'm doing this right now. If I were you, I'd wait. I'm just showing you how it just kind of finishes off. And then we can get rid of this extra string. Okay, there we have it. Voila, we did all 3. Okay, before we end, did we have any questions? Did all your questions get answered? Let me see. I think we did. Cool. All right, so let me switch around to my other camera. Oh, I forgot. Let me show you. Okay, don't forget. Let me see. If you don't mind, if your adult does not mind, let us see your finished project. Would love, love, love to see that. At Learn with Michaels on Instagram. At La Cozy Casita is me on Instagram. I would love to see it. You can use those hashtags. So fun. Okay, let me switch my camera around. There we go. Okay, you guys, I hope you had a good time. Did you love making your bracelets? I wish we could all put our arms together and take a picture, like hands in. Wouldn't that be fun? Like on the count of 3, emoji. I love it. I just love these. I hope you love them as much as I do. I'm a little passionate about these. These are one of the most favorite things I've made in my Michaels class. But if you can't tell, I really like bright colors anyway. So that's why I like them. And I'm going to be sharing with my daughter, and we can totally be twinning with our little emoji bracelets. So have fun wearing these tomorrow, you guys. I know I wore mine all day long. I loved them, loved them. So hopefully you'll join me tomorrow. You can see in my little Easter egg that I left you. I like to leave Easter eggs. Do you see some Easter eggs in my background? There's the little homes, the little gnome homes, and I have the two gnomes right there. And I just grabbed the little itty bitty gnome home. I thought that was fun. So that's what we're making next week. And then coming up, it might not even be available yet. It's been submitted, but it might not be on the app yet. But we are making that fun pop-up card. I think in April showers bring May flowers, right? So that's a fun little umbrella card, and that's a fun paper straw for the umbrella. And you can make yourself. This is my daughter and my son. I just did a little cartoon of them. So that's coming up. Let's see, what other little Easter eggs do I have over there? Oh, this is a little summer scene from air dry clay. You can't really see it yet. So I've got few fun things. Check out the app. You'll see, I think you can tag my name or you can look up my name and hopefully my classes will pop up. There's other cool kids classes that you can search for. Again, I'm Elizabeth Barrick. And thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you had a great time. I know I always, always do. So we will see you next week, hopefully. See you guys later. Bye-bye.